You think it ended your career?
100%. 100%. And it ain't had nothing to do with my age. It ain't had nothing to do with my style of play. It was because I took a knee. What's happening, man?
Antonio Cromartie.
What's good with you?
How you doing, man?
Man, I can't call it.
Since you in my crib, I'm gonna be an honest guest and go ahead, a generous guest.
Your
Go ahead,
crib.
You can go ahead and wreck for me real quick.
Oh,
Some chalk you need.
I don't
some?
even need no
Oh,
chalk.
you don't need no chalk.
Nah, man.
Chalk it up.
For what? You get beat anyway?
Go ahead, bro. Talking all that noise.
Yeah, buddy.
Everybody talk noise, but
Yeah, we talk a little noise. See what us Florida boys do.
in 2016, you're with the Colts. That's the same year Colin Kaepernick took a knee to protest police brutality and social injustice. You took a knee. Explain to me how that season played out for you.
I can give you a story. We are in the team meeting room, and Coach Pagano gets up and says, "Look, guys, I know you guys want to do something. I don't want you guys taking a knee." Like, what? Don't take a knee? Like, what you mean not take a knee? He's like, "Well, guys, look, when we go out on the football field, it's about football." I say, "So, but," and I turn around to some of the guys, and I spoke to them. I was like, "So, when it's about leukemia and your cancer, it's cool. But when it's about police brutality and social injustice, it's not cool." You know what I'm saying? And I told Chuck Pagano that. You know, I was just like, man, I told him straight up, that's bullshit. You know, it's football is bigger than what's going on the outside. No, it ain't. How about respecting the guys that's getting murdered and killed by police officers? And not saying that all police officers are bad, but you get some, they get the little power in their hand and they abuse the power. I have 6 sons. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if my son was in the car? Or what if my son was walking around and he get shot over nothing? So that was my logic. That was my thinking into it. Not because, it's the NFL.
Take me through the day when you took a knee. Who were you playing? What week was it?
Week 3, week 4 is when I took a knee. Because I actually wanted to do more detail. I wanted to ask my grandfather about it, who served in the Marines, talked to some family members I actually was, that was in the Army, and did they feel like was there any disrespect, And the biggest thing that came out, I was like, no, we don't agree with it, but our thing is that's what we fought for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We fought for you to serve that purpose, to go out and protest and have that freedom of speech and everything else. So week 3, we playing the San Diego Chargers. I can remember me right before the national anthem, the first time I took a knee. And what's funny is 2 or 3 other executive guys were standing behind me, and it's like, "Crow, get up." I'm like, "Man, fuck y'all, I'm not getting up."
Wow, they told you that?
Yeah, they said, "Get up." What they ended up doing was one guy was standing here, one guy was standing here, one guy was standing here, and another guy was standing here. One person even had a towel to try to block it, for nobody want to take a picture, but they already took a picture. And then week 4, we are in London. So we're playing in London.
Mm-hmm.
And they came up to me before the game, was like, "Hey, Crow, please don't take a knee." Like, man, y'all better get out my face. Y'all not finna sit here and tell me what I can and cannot do. I actually got benched that game. I got pulled out halftime and didn't play the second half at all.
Why was that?
They say it was because of my play, but I was like, you give up four you give up 4 catches for 35 yards and a 1-yard touchdown off a turnover that your quarterback threw? Come on, man. 2 days after I took a knee, I get like 3 or 4 phone calls. I'm like, hey, who the hell these people is calling my phone? I don't recognize the number, so I answer the phone. It's like, "Hey, are you in the facility?" I was like, "Yeah, wow, what's up?" "Oh, Chuck Pagano want to see you." I was like, "All right, cool." So they come and get me. It's like, "You got your playbook?" Motherfucker like, "What?" "I got my playbook." "Yeah, I got my playbook. Why?" I was like, "All right, cool. Let me go talk to Chuck." So we get in there, and he goes into this whole spiel. Hey, we're releasing you because our guys are getting healthy. I'm like, dude, ain't nobody healthy in the back end at all. Say, man, you ain't got a lot of me. Just tell me the truth. Only reason I want him to say really what he want to say, but he won't say it. I was like, so I'm gonna get released for taking a knee? He's like, "No, it's not that. We just feel like we're getting healthy."
Yeah.
I said, man, y'all ain't finna sit here and just pay me $3 million to release me, and then talking about y'all just getting healthy. I said, that don't even make sense, Chuck. I said, but it's cool. I said, you about to get fired anyway. Straight like that.
How do you respond to that?
He ain't say nothing. And guess what ended up happening?
What happened?
He got fired. Him and the damn GM.
How do you think your decision to take a knee affected your career?
Oh, it affected it big time. It ain't had nothing to do with my age. It ain't had nothing to do with my style of play. It was because I took a knee. October 2nd was my last game. I got one workout the whole entire time. And that was by the Saints in 2017.
Do you regret that decision at all?
Nope, don't regret it at all. Nah, don't. Why should I? Because at the end of the day, the only thing we did was give people a voice that didn't have a voice. And it brought more attention to what really was going on. And now everyone's talking about it. But there's still no solution because it still is going on. So what's crazy about that is we got death threats. Death threats really don't matter to me. But it's just like, you know, you get guys that say they're about something and they want to stand for something, but they won't do nothing. NFL is 75% black. If all black players walked off the field one day, what are they gonna have? You know what I'm saying? How much money would they lose if you stand together?
Thanks for kicking it with us. Subscribe to BR to check out more dope videos like this one.